So let's get into the reasons why I think the Marlins can do something and what they've done right this offseason. Starting off, I think trading for Luis Ariz was amazing. You guys needed a leadoff hitter. You guys needed someone that is obviously always going to hit for contact. He's someone that could come in clutch in those big games. I think getting Luis Ariz was a great start. I think Luis Ariz is a perfect pickup. It's kind of sad to see him go from the Twins just because I expected the Twins to do a lot more next season with all the pickups they've done recently, but I'm glad he is not in the AL East because when he faced my Yankees and some of the other teams I enjoy watching, he has mashed them. Luis Ariz is going to be scary in the NL East division. I think Luis Ariz is someone that is going to be someone that other teams in your division look at and see as threats. Luis Ariz is insanely good, and I see why the Marlins picked him up. They needed a person that will be your leadoff hitter, someone that will get in base later in games, and honestly just come in clutch. Also, the next person I want to talk about that I think is really good for the Marlins and why I think it's amazing that you guys just have him on the team, Jean Segura, man. Jean Segura was signed earlier, I think in December or something like that, and you guys got him on a pretty good deal. I think Jean Segura is a great pickup. Jean Segura isn't an all-star by any means, but he's someone that is really good and honestly is going to play your second base and is going to do really decent next year. He also has World Series experience, which is great to have on that Miami team because not a lot of people have been to the World Series on that team. Now, the third person I think is really good for your guys' team and why I think it's going to be really exciting to see him is going to be Jazz, man. Jazz recently went on MLB The Show like 23's press conference or whatever because he's the cover athlete, and he talked about how he was training for center field and how he's getting excited for his position. And something stuck out to me in that interview. Jazz said that, hey, if my team isn't going to be trading for a top 5 center fielder, then I might as well do it myself because I'll be better than any other center fielder they pull out of their bag of tricks. It's going to be really fun to watch Jazz play center field next year. Yeah, he's coming off an injury in the previous season, and honestly, I think Jazz has a lot of room to grow and just become an all-star player. He was an all-star last year. Jazz last year, I think, had a 250 batting average around there. I expect him to do a lot more and honestly prove that he can be a star in this league for a very long time. I think Jazz is just exciting to watch. I'm going to be really interested to see him next year. So that's 3 reasons why I think the Marlins can be competitive, but the real reasons I want to get into is their starting rotation. How can we not talk about Sandy Alcantara, bro? Sandy Alcantara just literally won the Cy Young. He's someone that is a workhorse of a pitcher. He's a dude that's doing things that pitchers love doing in the 90s that just don't happen nowadays. He's closing out games. He's getting a ton of strikeouts. He's just being that ace that any team would die for, man. They would literally sell all their pieces in their farm to get this guy. Yes, he's not a Shohei Ohtani. Shohei Ohtani is the type you would sell your farm for. But say Sandy Alcantara was on the freaking trade deadline, you know, the chopping block, Sandy Alcantara would be on a contending team. And honestly, I think Sandy Alcantara is someone that could win you playoff games just from him pitching. He reminds me a bit of like a Max Scherzer. Now, do I think Sandy Alcantara will kind of become a Max Scherzer type of player? I don't know. I'm just saying he has that mentality to go out there every day and pitch to perfection. He's someone that I'm really interested coming into the next year and honestly seeing how well he pitches against other contenders again. Sandy Alcantara is just fun to watch. And on top of that rotation, you guys have Johnny Cueto, which you signed in free agency. That's not bad. Johnny Cueto is someone that was really good, really bad, and then really good again. Johnny Cueto is someone that's just going to go out there, pitch. He's a vet. He's going to teach a lot of young guys on your starting rotation like Jesus Luzardo and Edward Cabrera and Trevor Rogers. These are people that have had barely a lot of playing time in the league. Jesus, Edward, and Trevor all have under 2 years of MLB service time. They're players that have played in the minor leagues but barely have touched the majors at all. I think it's going to be really fun to see Johnny Cueto teach these younger kids. Honestly, I think the starting rotation has a lot to talk about. And honestly, I think it's going to be really fun just to see them perform next year. Now, let's talk about, do I think the Marlins actually have a chance of beating the Mets, of beating the Phillies, of beating the Braves in this division? I don't know. I think they do, but it's very small. Like, I'm talking like 2 to 5% per se. I still think that I see the Mets, Phillies, or Braves going in the playoffs. I think any of those teams can compete for wild cards at any time. The Braves could flip the switch. They literally did that last year and won the division. The Braves played at an amazing pace last year. The Mets are amazing still. And also, you have the Phillies, which, hey, we're a wild card team, but made it to the World Series. It's insane to think about, but hey, maybe the Marlins could do that too. Now, do I think this team is worthy of a World Series or can't even make it there? I don't think so. I think you guys still need more bats. Like I said, Luis Arraez is an amazing start, you guys don't really have much, right? You have Jazz, Gene, you have Luis Arraez, you have Garrett Cooper, you have Garcia, Jorge Soler, which can do really well. You have Joey Wendell, which, okay, he can do decent. Brian De La Cruz, which has potential, and Jacob Stallings. I think you guys need to fill that catcher position. In my opinion, I don't know if Jacob Stallings is something that you want. Yes, maybe for his defense if he has any, but I think if you guys really want to be competitors, I think you guys should still go out and get another bat or two. I think this roster is okay, but I do think there's some things that can be done to make it better. Now, you guys do have some prospects in the pipeline that are going to be coming up eventually. I just don't know when that is going to be. Yeah, I just wanted to get on here and talk about what I think the Marlins have done decently and what I'm excited for with this team. I think the Marlins do have potential. It just depends on who actually, shows that potential, who actually plays to the standards that they're setting themselves to. I want to see Jazz become really good. Jazz literally went on air and said, hey, I think I could win a Gold Glove in center field. I think I can do it. He believes in himself, so I believe in Jazz, and I believe in the Marlins. I think the Marlins could be really good. And honestly, who wouldn't mind the Marlins being fun again? I think Miami deserves to have a really good baseball team. Miami is a popping town, man. People there love their franchise. Look at the Heat, man. The Heat go at it every single year. Not all the time are they competitive in the NBA, but the fans always show up because they're the Miami Heat. It's fun to root for a Miami team. I think the Marlins have potential, and honestly, if the Marlins are good next year, that would be amazing because it just adds more competition in the NL East division, and I think it would just be fun for any baseball fan. Honestly, I could see the Miami Marlins pulling in Orioles last year in the AL East. The Orioles kind of went on a little streak here and there and almost made the wild card at a certain point. They could have made it, but they kind of fall flat at the end. I think the Marlins do have potential, like I said. Who knows? Maybe in a year or two, the Marlins could be decent and, fight against the Braves, the Mets, or the Phillies, actually compete. But I think, the starting rotation makes that all worthy, and I think the lineup just needs a little bit more help. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed the video and made it this far, please leave a like and subscribe. It means a lot. Also, it helps me in the algorithm. Also, if you guys want to use my SeatGeek code, I have the code linked in the description below. Thank you guys for watching. My name's Joe. Have a great day or night whenever you're watching this, and have a good one.